All right, back for another beer review, and today I'll be reviewing yet another beer from Roaring Table Brewing, and they are out of Lake Zurich, Illinois, and this is their Bar and Grill. So they're calling this one a California-style Double IPA that comes in at 7.9% alcohol by volume. No IBUs listed in time of review. This can is approximately 6 weeks old. I'm going to give a huge thanks and shout out once again to a friend of mine and viewer of the channel, Cameron, for this beer. So big thanks to him. In the description box, I'll post a link to the beer mail boxing video I did that contains all the goodies he sent my way, and he sent me 9 beers from the Midwestern region of the US, and 2 of them were from Roaring Table. And earlier today, I posted the first review, which is a review of their rice, which is a Japanese style dry lager or rice lager. And spoilers, it was pretty fucking delicious. It was really good. Thoroughly enjoyed it. So with this one, bit of a contrast, because this is a California-style double IPA, which I have come to realize that that's kind of way of saying that it's a new school West Coast IPA. And this one, hops-wise, they're using Citra, Strata, and Nectaron hops. And they did say it on Instagram that this is one of the most expensive, like, hop-forward beers they've ever produced, because they're using a bunch of different hops. They're using Incognito. They're using, I think they said T90 pellets. They're using CGX and Cryo and a bunch of different stuff. So yeah, I guess it's one of the more expensive beers they have produced, and I'm looking forward to it. So, and I think somebody in the comment section of Instagram was like, is this all Citra? And they're like, no, it's a bit different. So apparently this was maybe originally all Citra, and now it's Citra. Was it Citra, Strata, and Nectaron? So yeah, I don't know. I'm here for it though. I'm loving the new school, West Coast IPAs. I think they're awesome. Using the North Park glass because they make some fantastic ones. Green Cheek is killing it, out in California. So I'm hoping this is kind of on their level. We'll see. A little bit of dirty glass mafia, but we're fine. So yeah, that has more of a, there's a decent clarity. I can kind of see on the other side of the glass my hand through it. You probably can as well, but it has a gentle haze to it. This has a yellow golden color, more to the straight up yellow side of things. You hold it up to the light. It's beautiful. It's vibrant. About a finger of a soap sudsy, bright white looking head. And I will say that honestly just looks like a great West Coast IPA. Sorry, California-style IPA. Double IPA. Yeah, it smells awesome. Oh, it's very, very dank. Very dank. Dank, herbaceous. It almost has like the marijuana vibe, but it also, to me, has that like basil thing happening. Big pine resin. But then there's a huge fruitiness. There's a lot of like mixed berry in here from the Nectaron. Usually a lot of people get strawberry. I'm getting more like a nondescript red berry or like a mixed berry. There's peach, there's apricot, stone fruits running wild like Hulkamania in the 80s. Certainly not anymore. And then the Citra, is probably amplifying the stone fruits. There's a little like underlying like orange, sweeter orange character, a little zesty grapefruit. A touch of like a bready malt character. Not too big though. Yeah, I mean, this honestly, again, this is 6 weeks old too. So a lot of the Green Cheek and North Park beers I've reviewed and have drank have usually been 2 or 3 weeks old. Now, when Cameron sent this to me, I think it was right around a month old, but getting through the other beers he sent to me and other folks' beers and stuff I've had on, in my fridge just waiting to drink. I had to wait a couple weeks on this one. Not to say that at 6 weeks old it smells bad, but maybe at a month old or even like 3 weeks old, this would be a little bit more vibrant. But as is, it's fucking pretty nice. It smells very reminiscent of the Green Cheek and North Park California style / new school West Coast style double IPAs I've had from them. Just a bit more, I think, dank and kind of like herbaceous. Smells really fucking good. Let's get into it. Cheers, everybody. Thanks again to Cameron. Two thumbs up. This is nice. It's nice. It's maybe not as fruity as I was expecting from the nose. I mean, it has a pretty nice fruit character, right, in general. But in the nose, it was a little bit more vibrant with fruit character. But that dank herbaceous kind of like resinous pine quality definitely carries over. And it has a very firm moderate bitterness, maybe even a touch over moderate. The body, medium, a touch over, maybe a bit thin for 7.9%, but I just have to mention in every review, bigger hop forward beers that are like 8+%, if they're a little bit thin, I'm okay with it. Just, my own personal preference. You might be upset about it. I'm not. Just let you know that this is a bit thin for 7.9%. The mouthfeel, on the other hand, is definitely reminiscent of an old school or even new school West Coast double IPA. It's very crisp on the palate, like a moderate carbonation. Incredibly smooth and very clean as well. I don't mention the cleanliness of a lot of these beers if it's not a lager, but there are a lot of these old school American IPAs and West Coast IPAs. They do have a cleanness to them that maybe I don't usually talk about, but it's definitely a clean beer. Right up front, on the palate, it's bready, it's sweeter, like white bread, maybe like a sourdough bread, dives underneath the palate. Then I get waves of citrus, sweeter orange juice, zesty ruby red grapefruit, maybe a touch of like a lemon lime. There's a big citrus character that wasn't present in the nose. This one is one of those beers where in the nose is all about like tropical stone fruit, berries and whatnot. And then in the taste, it's more citrus heavy, and that's what's happening here. However, there definitely is like a nondescript mixed berry kind of quality midway through the palate. There's a little bit of that peach and apricot and nectarine. Like a stone fruit vibe too, like a mango as well. On the finish though, it's dank, it's herbaceous, and it has a very heavy like pine resin kind of lingering kind of quality that's really, really nice. Again, moderately to a touch over moderately bitter, so very firm, semi-dry. Sometimes with these California style or new school West Coast double IPAs and triple IPAs and whatnot, they can get a little bit too sweet where there's not enough bitterness. I had one from Shred, which was their triple IPA, was Thumper, right? And that one was just a little bit too, it didn't have enough bitterness, and I wanted more, right? This has a beautiful level of bitterness. If you're somebody who loves old school West Coast double IPAs and just West Coast hop forward beers in general, I think you would really appreciate the bitterness on this one. 7.9%. Listen, I'll be honest with you, this is hiding the alcohol extremely well. I'm not even getting a warming in the chest, nothing on the palate, so this is really fucking good. That rice beer from them, the Japanese rice lager, was really a surprise just because I don't drink enough of that style. You don't see enough American breweries, brew that and then actually package it. And this beer, you're seeing a lot of breweries, kicking out West Coast hop forward beers at this point. But they're two drastically different styles, and Roaring Table has done a phenomenal job with both of them. I gave that beer, the rice, a 4.2. This is going to get a little bit higher because this is more my wheelhouse, and I think it's extremely well done. Now, see the North Park and the Green Sheik, is it as good as some of those beers? No, I don't think. I think Green Sheik, for this style specifically, like the new school West Coast IPAs, I don't want to say they're a league of their own, but between them and North Park, they're like kind of leading the way. And the Shred, pretty good. That like Hop Suey was fucking fantastic. But this isn't far off, and they're in the Midwest. So they're doing a pretty good job here. Yeah. So overall, as a whole, really well done California-style double IPA. To really make me go crazy about it, I want the hop character to kick out more of that fruity kind of. I feel like new school West Coast hop forward beers, or California style, I feel like they have the soul, they have the base of an old school West Coast hop forward beer with more of that like fruitiness you'd get from a New England style, right? But it still looks like a West Coast beer. It still has that firm bitterness, and the mouthfeel is the crisp, right? It's not like that super smooth, soft, creamy sensation you get. And this has most of that outside of that huge fruitiness. On the palate, it's more of like a citrus kind of character. It's a little bit more zesty and pithy and bittering, but it's still really well done. So, Bar and Grill from Roaring Table, absolutely zero issues, giving this one a high 4.25. I'm going to go 4.3 out of 5. So, a little bit better than the rice for personal preference, but this is just a really fucking good beer, and they are 2 for 2. Really good stuff. Very good stuff. So if you can get your hands on Roaring Table, do so. Based on these two beers, I think 2 thumbs up. Price point availability, like I said, they said this is the most expensive beer they brew as far as I think hop forward beers, or one of the most expensive. $18 a 4-pack, Cameron said. Not bad at all, honestly. If you bought a Green Sheik or North Park beer in California, that 8%, probably around $20 4-pack, maybe 22. Like, I know they're in the Midwest, a little bit cheaper than California and here in New York, but I don't think that's like crazy expensive. It's maybe a little pricey for some, but I don't think so. And availability, I have no idea. Hopefully Cameron or somebody else in the earlier review of Rice mentioned the availability. I have no idea. My thing is always go to the website of the brewery or their Instagram where they have like a link tree where you can, find out potentially if they get distro in your area. I've never seen Roaring Table here in Buffalo, New York, and maybe at some point down the line we'll see them. But they're 2 for 2, and I'm really digging their stuff. So huge thanks to Cameron for all the beers, but specifically these two because it was fun. I've heard of Roaring Table, over the past couple of years, and to be able to try 2 of their beers, drastically different styles, and both be really well executed, well brewed, and just really tasty, I'm here for it. So huge thanks to Cameron. If you've had this one, post in the comment section. Appreciate everybody stopping by for another beer review here on the Beer Patrol. Till the next one, cheers. You know what? I'm going to leave that in because I just said cheers, and for the first time probably ever, I just completely missed my mouth. I hit the top lip, almost fucking spilled. What am I doing? Nobody knows. That's what makes the Beer Patrol wonderful. Cheers.